You know, it's rare that a remake is ever as good as the original. Or is it? Today, we're looking at the 2009 remake of Wes Craven's Last House on the Left. Hello and welcome back to another episode of How Disturbing, the show where I try to find the greatest disturbing film ever made. And today we're going to review one of the most iconic disturbing films of all time. Well, kind of. Wes Craven's original Last House on the Left is known as one of the original video nasties. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. But it's famous as one of the most classic disturbing films of all time. But no, we're not looking at the original classic, we're looking at the 2009 remake. So let's break it down. The Last House on the Left was released in 2009 and in Australia it had an R18 plus rating. It was directed by Dennis Iliadis, and I don't know too much about this guy. It looks like he's made 4 films and none of them were particularly popular. The film stars Sarah Paxton, and I'm not too familiar with her, but it also stars Garrett Dillahunt. He's been in Raising Hope, Fear the Walking Dead, Deadwood, and 12 Years a Slave. The film also stars Aaron Paul, who you're famously going to recognise from Breaking Bad. Before we rank and review The Last House on the Left, we're quickly going to break down the film's synopsis. But we're going to do it in a detailed way, so there might be spoilers, but one thing I won't do is wreck the film for you. I want you guys to go and watch it. So here we go. Emma and John Collingwood and their daughter, competitive swimmer Mary, head out on vacation to their lake house.
Place looks good.
Shortly thereafter, Mary borrows the family car and drives into town to spend some time with her friend Paige.
Hey, do you guys need the car today? 'Cause I was thinking maybe I could meet up with Paige. She said she'd be working today.
While Paige works the cash register at a local store, she and Mary meet Justin, a teenager passing through town.
I don't think we've met. What's your name?
It's Justin.
Justin, I'm Paige, and this is Mary. Mary, this is Justin. Justin, this is Mary. Hi.
Hey.
Who invites them both back to his roadside motel room to smoke marijuana.
Look, I've got some premium grade A shit back at the motel.
Really?
Yeah, you can see for yourself.
While the three are hanging out in the motel room, Justin's family members return.
Oh, yeah.
Evening.
His father, Krug. I wonder if that's his Christian name.
Dad.
His uncle, Francis.
For Christ's sake, nephew, are you gonna introduce us?
And Krug's girlfriend, Sadie.
Yeah, well, our timeline's gotten sped up, so...
Krug becomes angry at Justin for bringing unknown people into the motel room.
Dad, what is going on?
And shows him a local newspaper that has Krug and Sadie's pictures on the front page.
We made the front page, that's what's going on. We figured they'd have my face on there sooner or later, but now they got Sadie's to boot. Can you believe it, Paige? Mary?
The news explains how Sadie and Francis broke Krug out of police custody and killed the 2 officers that were transporting him. Believing it would be too risky to let Paige and Mary go, the gang kidnaps them and uses their car to leave town.
You're okay. You're okay.
While Krug searches for the highway, Mary cleverly convinces him to take a road that leads to her parents' lake house. Mary then attempts to jump out of the vehicle, but the ensuing fight among the passengers causes Krug to crash into a tree. Frustrated by Mary's attempt to escape, Sadie and Francis proceed to beat Mary and Paige as they crawl from the wreckage.
Oh.
Krug attempts to teach Justin to be a man by forcing him to touch Mary's boobaloobies.
You ready to be a man?
What?
Paige begins insulting him to get him to stop. In response, Krug and Francis stab Paige repeatedly. And Mary watches her friend bleed to death. Krug then sexually assaults Mary. A struggle snuggle, I non-affectually refer to that as. And during the tussle, he pulls off Mary's necklace and throws it away. When he's done, Mary musters enough strength to escape the group and make it to the lake so that she can swim to safety. Krug shoots her in the back as she swims, leaving her body floating in the lake. Although everything seems seemingly dealt with, a storm forces Krug, Francis, Sadie and Justin to seek refuge at a nearby house.
There's been an accident.
However, they're not just at any house, that's right, by coincidence, they found themselves at Mary's house.
You know, you should probably just sleep here tonight.
Oh, well, no, we couldn't do that.
I don't think you have much choice.
Justin is the only one to deduce. Justin is the only one to work out that the inhabitants, John and Emma, are Mary's parents.
Oh, that's our daughter Mary. McCarthy.
And he intentionally leaves Mary's necklace on the counter to alert them about their daughter. After setting the criminals up in the bedroom, you wouldn't believe it, but there's a knock at the door. And guess who's definitely not dead? Mary!
Mary!
Mary's mum, Emma, then discovers the necklace on the counter, and they realise that Mary's tormentors are the people in the guest house.
This was in the kitchen.
Okay. What?
The kid put it there. John, Mary was wearing this when she left. She was wearing this when she left today.
And that is where I'm going to end my synopsis today. It's a short one, but if I tell you what happens from here on in, I'm really ruining the whole movie for you, and I'm sure you want to know how it ends. So before we do the maths on The Last House on the Left to figure out if it is the greatest disturbing film of all time, we're quickly going to have a look at the film, examine some of the attributes. So I'm not going to lie, the script here was kind of shit. Some of the lines that came out of these guys' mouths were just unbelievable, and they tried to act through it, but even their acting skills for some of these guys really weren't particularly strong. I know this film was a little bit more of a classic horror style, but I still feel like some of the editing really came across as B-grade. A lot of the transitions and shots just kind of felt amateur, and it's a little hard for me to imagine that Wes Craven actually endorsed this remake. I would assume, if I had to, that the post-production for this film was rushed. It feels rushed. However, I will say that the casting was pretty perfect here. They definitely nailed putting the right people in the right roles. They got that right. And as far as any kind of music or ambience or score goes, it was completely unnoticeable. I didn't even really think about it until mentioning it right now. So, yeah, kind of crap score. It wasn't an unwatchable film. There just really wasn't much depth to it. I don't think this needed to be remade. It was all good how it was. And again, the fact that Wes Craven signed on to this, quite bizarre to me. But having said all that, let's open the spreadsheet, have a look at some numbers, and figure out where this film sits on the grand scale of disturbing cinema. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do here is rank the film just as a film. What did I think of the movie? Because we have to find out if it's a good film, not just a disturbing film. So, it's hard for me to rate this guy too high, but I really think it would be fair, out of 100, to give The Last House on the Left a 37.3. That's what I think, but next up I need to get an audience rating. It's not fair to just judge this only on how I view it, but I need to see what you guys think as well. So when I go to the most popular film review sites and average all of the reviews together, it seems like you guys are giving Last House on the Left a 46.8. And I feel like you guys are being generous. So I know what you guys are rating this film, and you know what I'm rating this film, so let's just average those two numbers together, get a combined rating of 42.1. That's how good we think this movie is out of 100. We're giving it a 42.1. Seems generous. But now to the numbers that all you freaks have been wondering about. How disturbing is The Last House on the Left? Well, any film that's got graphic SA scenes in it is always going to be extremely disturbing. Made worse by the fact that these guys really acted it out well. Yeah, that was kind of messed up. But apart from a couple of icky scenes and some poorly done gory violence at the end of the film, it wasn't constantly disturbing, and it wasn't burned into my memory either. So when I'm giving The Last House on the Left a rating for being disturbing, out of 100, I'm going to award it a 65.7. And lastly, the ultimate disturbing rating for The Last House on the Left. We're going to average out how good the film is with how disturbing the film is and rank it amongst the rest of the contenders. So when we take our film rating of 42.1 and average it out with our disturbing rating of 65.7, we're going to rank this bad boy at a 54.1. Yep, his disturbing score tried to pull him up a bit there, but unfortunately, this movie's just a little bit subpar. So we're going to place him in the grand spreadsheet here, and it looks like Last House on the Left is ranking 5 for us. And as soon as I figure out an effective way of doing it, I'm going to make it so that you guys can access this spreadsheet in the comments with the link. There's heaps of juicy info on there, like me breaking down the films into subcategories of disturbing, like Stuck in a Place or body horror. I'm also cataloguing how much the films are making, the production companies that are doing them, so at the end I'll have a deep amount of information on disturbing cinema. My goal eventually is to investigate all this information that I've catalogued and see if I can find trends and things like that. So we've hit the end of the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That was weird. Sorry. I'm Billy Bogues. You've been watching How Disturbing. I've got the link to the spreadsheet in the comments, hopefully, and see you guys next time.